Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Because now I know when something happens in our lives that is unexpected, you have to go into it in order to ever have any hope of coming through it. So when you go, guess what? When you come out the other side, you grow.
Brought out more in me than I thought that I didn't even know that I had.
That has given all of us a great hope for what we can do with our own messages, our abilities to deliver, but most importantly, to deliver it in an authentic and very, very intriguing way.
Have you ever been in something or felt something where the only way you felt you could deal with it was to leave, get away? I thought that was the meaning of control. It took me 4.5 years to stop looking around the room of my life, of my journey, of my purpose, digging in cushions for a remote that never existed. Looking, re-looking, going back and upgrading, bringing in and pulling out things that do not serve you must go. Those things out in this world that are designed to bring us down, to keep us down, put their foot on our neck and whisper to us that we're never good enough, they don't whisper. They yell at us from all directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, 365 days. When somebody asks you about yourself, don't you dare whisper. When they ask you to raise your hand, don't you dare half raise it. When they ask you something good about you, you scream it with all you have. Come on now, get up, get up. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Greatest truth of all, that not everyone has to remain lost.
I see you over in the corner, nodding off. Time to wake up. Good morning, good morning. Come on in, y'all. Come on in and stay in. Today, we are on the halfway point of the week, Wednesday. Some people refer to it as hump day, but we're in the middle, working our way, God willing, all the way to Friday. And every day this week on Bathrobe Moments right here, we are being of service. We are every day, that means me, you, all of us together, fulfilling that promise of where two or more comes together, spiritual magic happens. Can I get an amen? Amen. So listen, but this week's even more special than usual because we are being of service, helping to bring awareness and to raise some funds, some dollars, some dinero, some mucho grande dinero. We want money because it takes money to do things. And the things that we're talking about are feeding families, children, the elderly, and everybody in between. Not just in the area of South Africa, which is what we're focusing on this week, but places like the Philippines. You've seen footage from our guest, Steve Sugram, and his team from where they went to the Philippines. It's not just in Pakistan. You've seen footage of where they took a trip and did the same thing that they're going to do next month in Africa, South Africa. They did it there. But I'm just before I bring the guys in here, we have Prophet Lovemore here today, all the way from South Africa. Glad he's here. And of course, Steve is back today, as he will be for the next 2 days, along with some surprises along the way. But I'm going to just tell you something. Today, we're going to hit some other things. We're going to talk about sustainability, how we can help where we live to create a better world wherever someone lives. And we're also going to talk about a couple other things. But so I had kind of like props because I had my cereal, right? Because I said, I'm not going to have shake today. I'm going to have Raisin Bran. And I like my cereal. I don't care what kind it is. I know this is kind of gross. A lot of people. I like it a little soggy. So I let it sit for a minute. Brian, my husband, likes it crispy and a little milk. Mine has to come right up to the top of the cereal, just the way it is. So how do you like your cereal? Soggy or crisp? Put it in the comments. So anyway, I had my cereal sitting here, and to prove I'm telling you the truth, I had my banana, because I like a banana, have it already pre-cut, so I could just sit here and talk to you guys. My plan was to say, well, isn't it nice, that when we get hungry, most of us, we can just pick up like I'm doing and cut this banana in there and don't even give it a second thought. Now, that was 10 minutes ago when I put the cereal in here and let it get a little soggy, right? I just put that banana in nothing but milk. Why? Because as soon as I started looking down there, I started eating visually. Next thing you know, I just had one more spoonful. They'll be on the show in a minute. I'll have one more spoonful. Next thing you know, I didn't eat the whole bowl up. But you see, that is a privilege. That's a blessing. I didn't even have to think about, well, what am I going to use to eat with? Oh, wait, well, I don't have to worry about that. There ain't nothing to eat. That's what people are dealing with. See, I couldn't even wait until you got here to attack this Raisin Bran. It is gone. Pretty much gone. What if you hadn't eaten in 3 days? 4 days? 5 days? And we're adults. We can explain it away when we're hungry and there's nothing to eat. But explain to a mother how to choose which child gets to eat today because there's only enough for one. Explain to the other children why one is eating and they are not. Explain. So that's what we're here to try to do. Explain some of this away. I have the guys here today. I'm going to start by bringing in something. I'm going to bring them in while we look at it because I hope you're eating. I hope send this out. Share this out, this broadcast. It doesn't cost. It doesn't hurt. At least it shouldn't. Send it out. Share it with somebody right now. And I hope everybody you send it to is in the middle of eating because we need to wake up. So I found a little ditty on YouTube about hungry children around the world. Just going to show a little bit while we get the guys in here.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true. You walk a lonely road, oh, how far you are from home. Morning air, oh, truly believe and will find your way. Morning air,
Good morning, Prophet Lovemore. Good morning, Apostle Steve. Prophet Lovemore, yeah, there you go. That was a little difficult to watch, but it wasn't supposed to be comfortable, and it wasn't supposed to be easy. You know, that's why I did the little thing about bananas and how I couldn't even hold back 5 minutes, and I done gobbled up the whole bowl, and then you see pictures like we just saw on the screen. I want to start. We'll say good morning to everybody, but Prophet Lovemore, let's just get right to it because you're over there on the ground in South Africa where Steve and his team are headed in just a few weeks. 10,000 people already registered. And let me just say, I have seen the pictures. We all have the images, but I can't say that I've ever seen a child in any of those pictures face to face. I don't know if I could deal with it. Prophet Lovemore, I have a feeling you've seen it face to face in real life. If so, go ahead, say good morning and talk about what that's like.
Good morning to everyone. And yes, it's nice to be here, with you, Dr. Lauren and Apostle Steve. Today in the morning, I had the opportunity to go to one of the areas where we are literally going to be giving out food parcels, just looking at the situation and just making sure that, I keep being stirred. Because one thing that I've realized about being able to love people is this: when you're always far away from the people, you never carry the heart of the people. So that's why you see that most of the people who really made a difference in people's lives or in any community, they didn't do it when they were outside of it. They did it when they were in the midst of the community. And I'm telling you, being able to see children who have not bathed for days, people who have no hope, being able to see not only the young, but you see how even the elderly don't have anyone to take care of them. I'm telling you, it's just something that you cannot just see it and let it go. And I remember you just said a couple of minutes ago to say 10,000 people have registered, but I stand to be corrected because up until today, even before we came in now, someone at church was saying, are we still open because we only heard of this late? Are you still open because you still want to register? So now it seems like this is an ongoing thing. And my question, not only to you, Dr. Lauren and Apostle Steve, but also to everyone who's going to watch this, is then who then has the power to say we have registered enough? And where do you send that person after they've requested food and you know that tonight there is no one who's going to help them to put food on the table?
Right. I mean, that's the piece. Yeah. Steve and his team and all of you are, we're moving towards the 14th and 15th of October. But today is the 28th of September. A lot of days, nights in between now and then. So what? So what? You know what happens? Steve, good morning. Tell everybody there might be some people who haven't been here at all this week, and just give them the Reader's Digest catch-up version, if you would, about what we're doing here and where you're headed when you head over to see Prophet Lovemore next month.
Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. As Prophet Lovemore was just sharing, in regards to being on the grounds and seeing what he's seeing, it was, when a need is presented to you, it comes to a point where, okay, what do you do? Do you pray about it? Do you think about it? Do you sit on it, or you just take action? And for me, it's about taking action, because a need is a need. And when you see the children, we had Dewey and Rain on yesterday in the Philippines, where last year we were on the grounds. Not me personally, but the team was, because of COVID, I couldn't go. And just knowing the dilemma that we're in because of the whole city really, the needs, the requirements by the government of needing, say for example, a mask and a shield to go into town to get supplies, and these people didn't have a mask or a shield. Where were they going to get it from? So their dilemma was how do they get food and supply, and they couldn't. So when we look in what's going on right now in Africa, specifically South Africa, and with the loot and the fire, it created a ripple effect throughout all of the South Africa, where the communities, local communities, are the ones who are suffering, because now where do they get supplies? Where do they get food? Where did it? So it's us sharing love, right? Because this is what this is all about, is reaching out in a tangible way to share the love of God with these people, and make an impact, and see how we could furthermore help in the areas.
Amen. Wow. Yeah. I just, Steve, I just talk for a minute, if you could, about how do you decide as one man, because that's where it began with you. You talk about the vision, and I get it. When God shows us something, you know it through and through, and you don't question. I say to you guys all the time, I've just recently, and I'm 60 years old, I've just recently realized that faith is not a thing. Faith is indeed a place. And when you stand up inside of it, you never want to leave. You never want to leave. You never want to step outside of it again. And so you must have had then an incredible amount of faith, because I know how difficult and challenging it is to do an event right here in Chicago, or take it on the road a piece down like to Atlanta. But I can't even fathom trying to put together something. I am headed to Romania, but I don't have to do any of the work. It's got already, they're doing it, but you have to start with nothing. You committed to Prophet Lovemore, who's committed to the 10,000 plus people that have registered. And you did that when you had zero money to do this. How do you explain that?
Well, I think you hit it on its head. Faith, is stepping out and just trusting and believing, because, faith, Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of it not yet seen. So you don't see it yet, but in faith and hope, you believe in, right? And so for me, it's always been just taking that leap of faith. Like I said, faith is an action word. And it's like a magnet, right? Once you put it out there, the pieces come together. And Prophet Lama will tell you, and anyone on my team will tell you, I walk the faith talk. I mean, it's not just saying I have faith. I walk it. I step
You
out
really
before.
do.
I do.
I believe it's one of your gifts.
Yeah, and because I trust God that much, I love him that much, and I believe in what he says I could do. I believe what's within me, right, which is all of God. When he breathed into the nostrils of man,
Right.
and he breathed the kingdom of heaven into us. So we are what we say we are. And so, for me, it's just expressing, and even if it had to be, I step out in faith and end up just being myself, me, I alone, then that's what it is. It's
Oh,
just me.
no, never. Thank goodness. I'm glad we can't do much by ourselves.
Exactly.
I mean, like we need another reason to be selfish. I don't think so. So here's what I'd like to do, because we got some money to raise and some awareness to raise. And so I'm asking, as I have been all week, to please, if you can't do it now, do it later. Just do it. Share this with at least one person. The ripple effect is real, people. You have an opportunity to start a domino effect that one day, when you leave, when we transition, which we all will, we're not in competition with each other. We're only in competition with time. And one day, we will, all of us, myself included, be standing on a precipice somewhere with what is greater than us. And what do you want to see? You're going to see vineyards and orchards and gardens and just everything with fruit like you've never experienced. You can smell it and taste it all at the same time and not even have to touch it. You're going to say, well, who's all that? And the co-creator of our story will look at you and say, we did it. And it's from these times, these moments when you feel no one is watching, that the greatest of all is grown. So take that with you and just don't underestimate your power to have an impact or to change. $1, the widow's mite story. Think about it. It's the spirit in which you give, which creates that momentum, which is purpose, which will keep giving no matter what. So I'd like to start. Let's show Prophet Lovemore. Can you set this first little clip we're going to see about the food preparation room? Tell us where that's located. Who are the people we'll be seeing? And how did the food we see in there get in there?
All right. So the clip that you're about to see is actually in a community, which is actually where we are, and that is a primary school. So the children apparently they just come in and they have like a soup kitchen kind of thing that they have going on. They call it nutrition. But anyway, when I came into that pantry and what I saw in there, I'm like, they're doing the best that they can, but even you yourself might actually not be comfortable to eat from something that is coming from that. So this school, we sat down with the principal, with one of the ladies that introduced us to him, and we saw that it's 1,150 students. And what happens is just in between classes, right? They quickly run, wash their hands, just grab a bowl, and then they sit, they eat with their hands. There's no time, there's no spoons, there's nothing at all. You just come in there, you have literally just a few minutes just to eat, and then the plates come in there, they put them, they wash them again, they rinse them, and then the next grade comes in. So it's literally as they're switching classrooms, that's how they tend to rotate, and then they eat. When I spoke to the principal and I introduced Apostle Steve and what we're going to be doing, the principal said, "Do you mean that you're going to touch 3 children?" I said, "No, we're coming for the whole school." And I could see the tears in his eyes. Why? Because not all principals are principals. Not all teachers are teachers. Some of the people who are in these classrooms, they are fathers. So when you see hope, and maybe you've been saying to your children, everything is going to be all right, this school is going to go on top, there's hope that's coming, and you see someone who comes, it's like meeting someone with 5 liters of water and you are in the midst of the desert. You're going to change that person. And in an instant, we clicked. He made sure that he brought in some of their key leaders there, and they sat and they asked me almost 5-10 times the same question, different ways, to say, "Do you mean there are still people like this who still exist?" And I said, "Yes." And we are praying, trusting God that Apostle Steve is going to be here on the ground. And I left
Yes.
with the principal in tears. And that's when I realized that, one vision, one heart is much more bigger than all of us. And there is no way that each and everyone who is here listening to me and those who are going to watch this replay will allow something like this to die, because this is actually the lifeline. This is the beacon of hope, that someone who is coming from a house where there's no food. Some of these children, you need to understand, they don't eat at school. They only, you know, if they don't eat at school, they go home, there's
They don't
nothing.
eat at all.
So they don't eat at
Exactly.
all. And some of
Right.
these kids, they're walking miles, kilometers to be able to get to school. So you don't have shoes, you're coming to school. And those who have now shoes, just imagine the other one who doesn't have anything, there's already some rejection going on there. There's some isolation going on there. Why? Because look at this student has got shoes I don't have. Look at this one ate, but I don't have. Look
Right.
at this one's school uniform I don't have.
Right.
And they kept on asking about school uniform. They kept on asking about, I mean, the principal is just praying that this is not just like one of those scams, because many people, including, unfortunately, the government has promised,
No. Yeah.
and the thing never came. So the whole of this community, all those 10,000
Their spirit.
people who are literally just sitting like this and
Ju-
looking and wishing, I hope this is not a scam and it's not going to be like one of those things that we have been promised for many years, which never
It
materialized.
never comes.
Mhm.
Let's take a look, you guys. Let's take a look. We've got work to do.
I'm in a hurry. Okay. My name is Beris Mia. I'm at Chabalala Primary School. This is our storeroom where we keep the food for our kids. This is our storeroom to keep our food for our kids. Then after that, we take the food out here and then go to the kitchen to cook for the kids. Then we are going to the kitchen. This is our kitchen where we cook food for the children. It's our stove, our pots, and we use a gas stove. And then this is our cabinet where we put our dishes, spoons, our utensils we put in here. This is our sink where we wash dishes inside. And then we go outside to see. This is my colleague. This is our table where we dish up for our children. Then we go outside and see where our children, this is our children. We just make a queue for the food and then my teacher, madam, she helps us with control the kids, and this is where the kids sit when they are eating. Where they wash their hands when they're going to eat. Thank you.
Wow. Let's focus on the happy part there, because I'm feeling some kind of way right now. I know you guys out there are as well. I mean, you guys just recorded this like recently.
Yeah, this was last week, yeah.
Last week, right? And I had to focus on the kids' faces because, if I watched, the first thing I thought of, I'm just keeping it real. The silver bowl looks just like the water bowl that my cats drink out of. And I'm like, it looks like an animal bowl, but it's all they have. Then I'm thinking, I'm watching them eat with their hands, and I remember how many times my mom would say, "Quit using your hands. Pick up your fork and use it like a human being. Quit eating like an animal." I'm not expecting what's happening right now with me. So I don't know what you. I'm going to step out for a second, Steve and Prophet Lovemore. Take the show for just a minute. I need to get myself together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that Prophet Lovemore.
Yeah, it's amazing, when you look at media, and that's why I think us being able to come here today is a very powerful thing that Dr. Lauren has just allowed us to come here and use the tool of media for the right purpose. Because many of our times, the people who would be able to come in and show anything on media, right? They just showing a bunch of violence, they're showing whatsoever it is that they want to drive. And even when we begin to show things like this, where we're telling people that this is happening in South Africa, most people are like, but this is not what I see. Because when the media is showing, they show us the good side, right? They show us the nice beaches in Durban and Cape Town, Table Mountains, all those nice places. But I'm telling you, there has been a lot of devastation that has happened, even in places like Durban, because they were hit by floods. We've got people who have been displaced. We've got people who don't have houses at all. We've got people who have been retrenched. And so, contrary to what people might believe and what they see, with people who are trending right now, is sometimes if you want to move with God, oppose the motion. Because if you really want to see the truth of whatever is happening, go to the foundation. And being in the foundation means go where the people are. And when you begin to see things like this, there's no way you're going to be able to turn a blind eye. Because on your own, that's where you will discover that with money answers all things. Money answers all things. I normally say anyone who does not want anyone to be rich, that person doesn't love people. Why do I say that? It's because the more God gives you, the more you are able to take care of people's needs. What good is it to be able to see kids, who are in such places and there's nothing you can do about it? So the greatest passion and desire that I've seen even in Apostle Steve is God has allowed him and has gifted him with an open heart. Because I strongly believe that other people have got hearts, but other people have got the gift of an heart. Because only people who carry their heart of people and nations, doesn't matter how far or near they are, can be able to do what Apostle Steve, is doing right now. And that's one of the reasons why I said I want to connect and to be a part of, the big thing that God has given him. And for me, it's a privilege,
Yeah.
it's an honor to be a part of this. And I know Dr. Roland, when you met with Apostle Steve, that's it. You saw it. Everyone who just speaks with him, you
Yeah.
see it. It's
Instantly.
genuine. It's
Instantly.
there. It will be hidden. And I'm telling you, the people here, they can't still believe it. Up until today, they just cannot believe that it's really, really going to happen. And this is really how people still feel on the ground. Others are so happy. It's amazing.
Yes. And again, you guys, listen to what you're hearing from Prophet Ardmore, who will no doubt, undoubtedly come face to face with even more of these same people right after we're done here. And we'll go on to our day to day life, whatever that consists of.
Yeah.
But we need to do what we can. So if it's just sending a prayer, sharing this broadcast out, taking the link and passing it to a person, $5, $10. Now listen, charitable donations. Let's talk about that for a second, because some people may not understand, Steve. One Vision, One Heart, even though it's on the screen right behind you, .org, it is a nonprofit. So that means that all of their charitable donations, they can receive an in-kind receipt from your organization. And if they so choose, a lot of people don't even care about that. But if it's sizable, why not? If it's a sizable donation, yes, by all means. I mean, that's one way that the government does help us help ourselves. So use it because they're far and few between. I'm just saying. So, Steve, kind of explain that part to people and about the donation process. We haven't talked about that at all. And today's the third day. So, we can only show so many pictures, we can only watch
Hmm.
videos, and we got to get back to the task at hand, which is it takes money to save
Hmm.
these children's lives. Literally, literally. Everything we eat, I don't care if we did grow it, we bought something at some point. We used money to get it at some point. And that's the same thing these people have to do. So, Steve, go ahead. Talk about that if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite simple. Obviously, on the screen it shows onevision1heart.org /donate to donate. Yeah, like Lauren was saying, your donations are tax deductible. One Vision, One Heart is a division of Dominion Blessings Mission, which is the foundation of our entity. So Dominion Blessings Mission and One Vision, One Heart is a DBA of it. Guys, and we've had many people in the past, like when we did the Philippines project that donated, everyone got what you'll get is a receipt, obviously, of your donation, which you can use to submit with your taxes for credit. And that's allowed. And so, rest assured, we are structuring and doing even greater and bigger things because we want to reach more people, with our organization and with the heart of God and just sharing what we're doing. So, yeah, you're showing the food bags there. So
Yeah,
all,
talk about those. What's in there?
yeah. So you see how filled those bags are. And we've had with that outreach in the Philippines, over 800 families, 600 children in 3 different villages. Okay. And we wanted to give enough because those families were feeding with children. And a bag, actually, that bag fed a family for almost a week. It had that much. We had rice, we had oil, we had foods that we know that could go a long way. Beans. So in South Africa, 25 to 35 will feed a family. But for a lot more for what's going in there, how what about a week or a few days?
Yes, no, it would. It actually goes a little bit more after 2 weeks because we
2 weeks.
do have, 10 kgs there of rice. We've got 10 kgs of sugar in there. We've also some flour in there. So we really just went, for the food that's going to really take them, much more longer because most of these people, they don't even have breakfast or lunch. They just eat at night, whatsoever it is they're able to.
Yeah,
Wow.
and one of the things you saw, in addition to the food bags for the family, you noticed we handed out toys to the children, and
Yes.
we, lot God really blessed us, so we were able to make a greater impact in the Philippines. And, a lot of these children there in the villages, this is probably the first time they've received a toy. Imagine the joy in their face, like was Christmas to them, right? They've probably
Yes.
seen it on TV possibly, or maybe heard about it, but here, in real life, they got toys, they got, coloring books. How wonderful is that, right? Here, a coloring book and crayon. I could look right now across the room. I'm seeing a crayon laying down on the floor there. My granddaughter's. But imagine them reaching, getting a crayon for the first time in their life and a coloring book to be able to be creative on that piece of paper. But this is the type of impact, we're making, and would like to continue to make. And we ask each one to really join us and donate and help this cause, because it really is. I
Yeah,
often say we're blessed to be a blessing,
that's
and
right.
Prophet Lama touched on that already as well.
So this is Prophet Lamar. This is your neighborhood, right?
Right.
Tell us
Uh,
what we're looking at here. What are we
yeah.
looking at?
Yeah, so I'm busy, just like we just started this, it's just going to be a few people as usual. And then I'm seeing a lot of people passing through, they're just, okay. And I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing all these lines. Where are all these people going to? And
Yeah.
then I hear people beginning to say, that's the pastor, that's the pastor, that's the pastor, and come to discover that all of these people that you see here and others that continued, actually some had come as early as 5 a.m. to come and stand on the gate so that when the gates are open to the church, to the building, they can be the first to register. And this is when I realized that we really have a major problem on our hands, because this, what you're seeing right here, it continued from early morning hours up until 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Sometimes we would only be able to close the gate because, people are now tired. And what was happening is that me and my wife were explaining what is one vision, one heart, to each and every people that you can say, as you see, that's my wife there, Prophet Zoe, and the people are coming in, and the people kept coming. So this is not just like that only. No, this was happening continually all throughout the day. So we have 100 people come in, 50 people come in, they go out, we repeat again. So it was repeating, telling the people about Apostle Steve, telling them about one vision, one heart. They have questions, we answered them. Next people. So I'm telling you, being able, I saw the team writing people's names down up until they could no longer have strength to write people's names down. And still you're seeing people, the oldest person that came that we have on record now, she walked to the venue and she is 94 years old.
94 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were mentioning that the other day. Here's a couple other little short clips that and they're like a half a minute each, so I'm gonna show 3. And then one at a time, and then Prophet Lovemore and Steve can tell you what you just looked at. Here's the first.
But over the weekend, this spark ignited frustration with years of economic hardship, unemployment at 32%, and months of pandemic restrictions.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, so that's amazing. Apostle, do you want to take that one first, and then I can go in?
Yeah, this was at the, absolutely, sure. This was at the heights of when all the looting and burning and destruction was taking place in South Africa, and it created just such a ripple effect, into the communities. And in each community, whoever could helped and was started feeding. And I know Prophet Lovemore and them started actually on their own with the soup kitchen. They did what they could locally to make food and provide it to the community. I think some of the pictures were from you guys feeding. I saw a couple of them in there. So maybe you could.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was. So what you saw there, like the guys that were pulling a fridge there, they literally were breaking into these malls, right? So just imagine a mall, and people are saying, okay, we from the ghetto, there's no food, there's no service delivery, there's nothing that's happening. We've been on these masks, no one's working, people are just being laid off, no one's going to help us. So they just went
ourselves. Right.
Yeah, so they broke in, and you could see the policeman was there, and that guy, if you were to replay it again, you can see he's literally, begging for mercy from that policeman, because in South Africa, our cops, just like what you experienced there, the guys are trigger happy. A lot of people lost their lives during these times, and a lot of people, passed away because they just wanted to put food on their table. So at this time, my wife, Zoe, she's got a very big heart when it comes, especially to the elderly. So what we just say to the guys, okay, guys, you know what you're going to do? We're going to grate some cabbages. We're going to just start, because this thing of just, appealing to the people and they're not responding, that's just with the little that we have. So we just had like a small cup of soup, and then we just began to come out of the church and we're giving the people. And what is happening is they began to call each other, and that's when we said, Apostle, look at this, that's what we have. And just imagine just coming out with a bowl of soup, and no one does it. They just say, I'm hungry, So this is how it is. So people don't really understand what's happening. So Dr. Aaron, let me tell you what's happening. Right now, if you were to come outside our church and just say anyone who's hungry, come here. I guarantee you, in less than a minute, 10 people are going to show up, and they are going to call their friends. And within an hour, you can have plus or minus almost 100 to 150 people coming in and then asking you, when again are you going to do it? So these people, they are not like people that we are just going to think that we've registered all these people. They're coming in and they are, it's just gonna do it once, because most of them, they're already asking us, please tell us, is this an ongoing thing or it's a once off? And you can see by that question that they're saying, you're the hope right now, and this is really, really something. And yeah, it's all there on the video, as the people saw. And those children, if we do not do anything or something about it, these are our next gangsters right there. These are our next losers right there.
Absolutely.
Because the children are not given hope, and there's no direction, and there are no fathers and no mothers in their lives. I'm telling you, we might be actually waiting for chaos that's going to be worse in generations to come.
I'm going to hit another 30-second clip just to give you guys and myself another peek inside of what we are going to help make better. Here's another peek. Wait.
At least, Mama, you're going.
You can hear the excitement from the crowds. But look, here's something I just noticed. I noticed in that the first clip, everybody had on like winter coats and hats. Does it get cold there?
Yes, it does. So that was winter season, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because these people, just imagine if someone has a coat like that, and they've been standing in the line for more than 4 or 5 hours just to get their name registered. That means right now the weather is not that strong enough to stop someone from getting some food in their stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. We've got less than 10 minutes left. And before we get out today, because tomorrow we have a special guest here, Prophet Lovemore, I hope you can come back tomorrow. Maureen Flatley from Capitol Hill. She is one of America's foremost authorities on child welfare and the safety of children, and has worked all over the world and is responsible for more bills being passed here in the United States for the protection of children than any other person in history. And so she is going to be here tomorrow to speak to a number of issues and challenges, not just in South Africa, not just the Philippines, not just Romania, where we're headed for the same reason. And Maureen is involved with that trip as well, but everywhere, including right here in the United States. So, Steve and Prophet Lovemore, talk about, if you will, as I get it ready, I want to share the last clip of the day about sustainability. There's that clever saying, it's better to teach a man to fish than to just give a man a fish. So talk about how you plan and what you're maybe currently already doing to help educate and promote sustainability.
Oh, you want us? I'm sorry. I thought you said you were going to share a clip.
I'll
That's where you were waiting.
Yeah, I'll do that first. This is a little short thing, just a minute and a half. So what they were doing in, I believe, Sweden. Okay.
Mm.
So
Wow.
that made a lot of sense.
Mhm.
So talk
Yeah.
about that piece.
Sure. And I'll start, and then Prophet Love and I, we had talked a little bit about this, and he's already got some stuff on the grounds. But you know, one of the things, like when you know, Lord, when God put the vision in my heart, and I looked at some of these countries, you know, in some countries, widows are outcasts, right? We have all the orphans, we have what we see, and in my heart, I said, what if? What if? I mean, these are people that still can contribute to society, right, to the community. What if we teach them different trades? You know, how to sew clothes and put them in business. What to make jewelry, make furniture, teach them how to grow livestock, how to start fish farms, how to start agriculture projects, and we empower them, create fair trade businesses for them, and give them an opportunity, right, to feel self-worth and contribute back into humanity, back into society. And this is what we saw here in this clip about sustainability, right? And Lauren, you said it right. You know, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but teach him to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime. And so in South Africa, I know Prophet Love and I, we talked a little bit about, and he's had some ideas as well. So I'll let him share a little bit about sustainability there in South Africa in particular.
Okay. Prophet Lovemore, what say you?
Yes. Yeah. So, like each and everyone would be able to know and understand, as you rightly, it has been put right here that, if you just give a man a fish, he'll just eat it for the day. But if you teach him how to fish, then tomorrow we will be able to make sure that we alleviate all the problems that we're seeing today. And the truth of the matter is, everything comes down, Dr. Lauren, down to education. And that's a piece right there that's going to be very key, that's going to be very important, which already we are beginning to put in place, because financial intelligence is one of the fastest way for anyone, where it doesn't matter where you are in, because that's also becomes something that is very near and dear to my heart, where I always say, for how long will we as people from Africa always rely for those, to people outside, when we can be able, to do something. And I believe strongly, even as I was talking with Apostle Steve, that we are trusting God that we will take One Vision, One Heart to the next level, where we'll be able to offer scholarships. Because when a child who has been in a place where they have had nothing, when they get an opportunity, they don't care if they're going to sit next to a garbage can, as long as they can go into university. They know that when I come back, I can build a better tomorrow. So that's the first thing that we are looking at, the scholarships that's going to come from, our One Vision, One Heart. And we can also have exchange programs there coming in. And that's going to be very key. The second thing that we're looking to make sure that we put on the ground is going to be skill related, and training. Because nowadays, technology is advancing. And as technology is advancing, it's advancing very quick, that if we do not stop, what's happening right now to these children is going to be multiplied in years to come. Why? Because technology is advancing. And as such, we are looking to make sure that these children, just as, you might have seen this, Dr. Lauren, on certain programs where you see young children are being taught coding, they're being taught, NFTs, they're being taught crypto, blockchain, and all this. So I strongly believe that any child anywhere around the world, if they can be taught while it's still early, we can be able to put them in a good trajectory
To make a difference. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Listen,
community.
unfortunately, we are out of time for today, but
Yeah,
we have 2 more days and we're going to make the most of it, right? So that
right.
means that we need not just all of us here on the screen, but all of you as well. Do us a favor, bless in the manner in which you'd like to be blessed. Uh, let people know about what's going on here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, God willing, at 8 a.m. Central. Maureen Flatley from Capitol Hill will be with us, Prophet Lovemore, and Apostle Steve, and all of you as well, I pray. Listen, remember, every time you eat today, I want you to see at least the face of one of the children you've seen over the last 3 days here on Bathrobe Moments. And just let your conscience be your guide. Pray your way into a blessing. All you have to do is believe And when you say it, mean it. Because the moment we mean things, they become meaningful somewhere in the universe. God bless you. I'll see you all tomorrow when we have our next illuminated conversation right here on Bathrobe Moments. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Show me your soul.